A South Taranaki iwi says 70% of the people it stopped at a checkpoint near the small town of Patea were flouting the rules under Alert Level 3. And that's why some communities need to take things into their own hands. A number of towns around the country have set up controversial checkpoints, screening people coming in and out in a bid, they say, to keep COVID-19 at bay. Debbie Ngarewa of Ruanui says of the 40 people who passed through today, just 12 had a valid reason.
There's no roadblocks. I sort of see that's been emphatic over social media. So what we have is part of our traffic management plan is we have people that are guiding the traffic. They come up to a group of us that are waiting, that are set up in a group of two. One holds the brochure which is about level 3 and where testing clinics are. And then the other is quickly saying, are you aware of level 3? Are you travelling within the requirements of level 3? Where you come from and where you're going? And then for the locals, we've got a little card that says I'm a local, so they don't have to be questioned numerous times. So and it probably takes about 5 seconds, unless we've had some that are very emotional. They've had to leave their bubble, they've had relationship issues and things going on. So we've been able to connect them with some social services and things that we sort of didn't really expect to be having today. But that's just sort of, I guess, what's come as a consequence of Connect.
Did you see today people who were fleeing bad relationships and bad situations during the lockdown?
We had one girl who probably stands out for me all day that had a dog. She had her car full of all her belongings and she'd travelled up from Wellington and had located a bubble that she could move to, and it was really obvious that she'd probably been crying the whole way. And as soon as we asked, how are you, it just all came out. And everyone's trying to practice social distancing. We sort of pulled her aside and took the car, and she was devastated. Beautiful young girl, and I just couldn't believe that she'd travelled that way. And she was in a bad space. And we had a son that had lost his dad, and we're the first people out in a physical form that he'd spoken to. So it was pretty rough. Some people have had to endure some pretty tough situations, and like I say, the sack is worth it. I'm glad we were able to be there to Manaki and to give some kindness.
So I'm just trying to picture this in my head. Do you wave them down? Is there a sign that says, could you please, there's a stop coming up, or?
Yep. So these, our neighbouring iwi has put up the digital roadwork signs that sort of say community checkpoint coming up. And there's 3 of those between us and Ruanui. The last one being about 2 k's before they reach us. Then it comes into a 50 zone area, which has been taken down to 30. They come round and are guided in from the traffic management, and I guess that's anyone that's not a Fonterra truck and not all the heavy traffic that's typical of essential services isn't brought in. It's more those if you've got a boat, a caravan, if you're a juicy camper van, if you have a jet ski, if you have BMX bikes, which is really some of them that we've had today. So it's really about, wading through and not pulling everyone through the checkpoint lane. And it took us, it sort of worked quite seamless, because I think you sort of can see, like I say, we've had a few camper vans this morning and international travellers that weren't aware of the full details of Level 3 and sort of thought they could go around on holiday again. So, yeah.
So the law's pretty clear on this. Only the police or emergency management agencies can set up a checkpoint. So why should people stop for this checkpoint?
It's really interesting that there's been a lot of outcry about it when we actually haven't had anyone say that they haven't appreciated the support to, I guess, make sure that our region's able to be safe and make sure that we're able to help those that haven't understood the Level 3 messaging. So I guess it all depends about the spirit and the intent of it. So the spirit and the intent of it is to work with everyone else. So we're lucky we've got the police here, and we're lucky that I guess it's not like Americana. So when you have Americana come through Taranaki, our roads are blocked for days. So it's a really gentle flow. And it is about being able to assure us as a region that we're safe and most importantly help those who maybe have decided not to comply or not to understand level 3. So it's, we've seen lots of activities through Taranaki. Again, we can have Americana here stop our traffic for a week and there's not an outcry. But it just seems people maybe not understanding the spirit of what the checkpoints are.
So what are you most worried about? Why do you feel that you have to do this yourselves?
I guess, I'm going to be really honest, Lisa. In the ideal world, we wouldn't have to be honest. We would have had other authorities, local government, whatever, step up. When we went to book traffic management crew, so we're not actually manning the traffic management per se. That's a crowd that are professionals that we've hired. We lost some of that because council's priorities were to put traffic management into managing, private businesses' queues, like in McDonald's and in KFC. So in the ideal world, we wouldn't have to fill these gaps. In the ideal world, there would be an approach that matches the intensifying of testing, and we would have local authorities taking more of, and with government, taking more of a considered effort to follow through what needs to happen from level 4 to level 3. And I guess that's the spirit of the checkpoint. It's not to be vigilante or to apply justice. No one here is doing that.
So what did you do with the people who were, as you say, breaking the rules at this level? What happened to them? The international travellers and the people who were travelling outside of their region?
They were referred to, what the law of the land says, and then our role is to purely educate and, I guess, effectively triage as a region, but they were referred to the police and taken to the side by the police, and what they do with them in their jurisdiction is their business.
And that's Debbie Ngarewa Paka of Ngāti Ruanui, and she has been at a checkpoint near Patea today where she says 70% of the people stopped at that checkpoint were flouting the level 3 rules.